But I do love it. I love it. My favourite, the best bit of advice that I got when I was doing tour support for bigger comedians, they all had the same bit of advice, by the way. They all said the same thing, and it was this. It was that you never tell people you're a comedian. You know, like if you get into a taxi and the driver's like, oh, what do you do? Never say that you're a comedian. If you get sat next to somebody at a wedding that you don't really know very well, they go, what do you do for work? Never tell them you're a comedian. Because, Harrogate, if you tell people that you're a comedian, one of two things happens, okay? Either they go, tell us a joke, or worse, they tell you a joke. Yeah, and that joke is always, at best, cheesy Christmas cracker fodder, and at worst, a legitimate hate crime. Oh, you would not believe the amount of times a bloke's gone, here you are, you can have that one. And you're like, cheers, Gary, I would, but it's incredibly racist. But I don't lie. I keep it half true, I keep it vague. I say things like, oh, I'm a writer. Or my favourite one is I say, I work in live events. It's nice and vague. It tends not to get any sort of further questions. And it's technically not a lie, is it? This is a live event. I'm not lying. This is a live event. So it usually works. It works most of the time. It works much like the coil 99% of the time. Right? The last time it let me down, genuinely, was just over a year ago. It was in August of last year. I was in Australia at the time for the Women's World Cup. I'm a huge football fan. I was so excited to be there. It was an absolute dream. And I was there for work as well. I felt so lucky. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy to be there. I was there for a week watching the Women's World Cup. And it was amazing. A brilliant week. However, something happened when I was there that was so embarrassing. I'm still quite embarrassed to talk about it. I'm still quite mortified to say it out loud. I was there for a week. I was staying in this hotel. And on the second morning, I had a fall in the shower. I am too young to be having a fall in the shower. A fall in the shower. I was 29 at the time of the fall. Who's having a fall in the shower in the 20s? It was mortifying. Having a fall in the... I'm younger than the film The Mask, okay? Just let that sink in. I shouldn't be having a fall in the shower. I turned 30 in January. I had a genuine fear that my mates had got me a shower seat for my 30th. I was mortified. I was having a fall in the shower at 29. It was absolutely so embarrassing. And it was a proper 10 out of 10 fall. Proper arse of a tit. Slipped like that, hit the side of my head, cracked my head open, right? Yeah, passed out. Don't remember the fall at all, but I woke up in Sydney Hospital. I had this big bandage round my head. I looked like Mr. Bump. And... my husband was there. He was right at the bedside and he said, you're all right, love, you're okay, don't worry, you've been really well looked after and there's nothing to sort out. I've done all the paperwork, I've done all the forms, done it all, name, date of birth, address, I've even done occupation, because I know you don't like to say what it is you actually do. I says, right, what did you put? He put, well, like you, I kept it vague. I said, right, what did you put? He said, well, you know, like you, I kept it half true. I said, yep, what did you put? He put evening entertainment. Right, precisely. You lot know, those are not two words that conjure up an image of a stand-up comedian, are they? No, those are two words that conjure up an image of a party trick involving ping-pong balls that you definitely couldn't show on the BBC, right? I was like, what do you mean, evening entertainment? I've seen evening entertainment. I know what that looks like. What it looks like is a police officer wearing sunglasses at 3 a.m. I've seen evening entertainment, but I didn't have enough time to have a go at him because the nurse was coming over. The nurse was coming over to examine my wound, and she came over. I swear to God, Harrogate, I swear on my life, these were the words that came out of her mouth. She walked over, she unwrapped this bandage on my head, she had a look at this wound, and she said, wow, that's quite an impressive gash. Precisely, right? Yeah, you're ahead of me. Now listen, I might tell people that I'm a writer, I might tell people that I work in live events, but I'm a comedian, so when she said that, I couldn't resist, right? I couldn't resist. She'd laid it open, ready for the taking, right? Not her gash, the judge. But you know what I mean? She'd set me up, so I had to say something funny back. She went, wow, that's quite an impressive gash. So I went, cheers, love, if you play your cards right, I'll let you see me tits later. Thank you, yeah, thank you. Yeah, well done. Well done, yeah, thank you for laughing. Thank you, because let me tell you, she did not.